gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I gotta stop. We'll be right back. Hold on. What the hell? I forgot. I'm using the wrong camera. No, I'm using the right camera. Hold on. They're all like, what is going on? Let's throw them off a little bit. What the hell did I do? Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. What is up, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Breaking Bells. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the most amazing, wonderful, the awesome Holly. What is up, Holly?
Hi, it's me.
And Holly, there's a few more people here that I guess I should introduce them. I think people already know who most of them are anyway. So we're gonna start with the amazing Mr. Alex Van Aken from OK Beast. What is up, good sir?
Hey, how are you, Bobby? Thanks for having me on.
This is a return, and just so people know, this is a return of all these guests. They've all been on pre Animal Crossing launch, and then we have Mr. Josh Thomas that pretty much I don't think really needs a lot of introduction. A lot of people know who this gorgeous guy is. What's up, Josh?
Not much. I'm ready to talk about when we're gonna get the DLC that Tom Nook removes his shirt finally. I miss when Tom Nook was shirtless. That's the main discussion here, right?
Apparently so. Apparently that's what it's going to be. And lastly, but definitely not least, Mr. Jeffrey MaHomey. What is up, dude?
Hello. Thank you for having me back.
Of course. So I think we should probably we're going to do this first. Let's kind of go through a couple of things of how I know each person, because I like doing this a little bit. But we'll start off with Holly. Holly, obviously, she does Breaking Bells with me on the normal. We do segmented shows now where episodes will show up on my channel, episodes will show up on her channel, and we just kind of talking Animal Crossing each day. But then Alex is one of the top people in charge of OK Beast, which is a fantastic website. If you guys don't know about it, go check it out. They do podcasts, they do reviews, they do video stuff. The documentary that Alex did, if you guys have not seen it, go see this documentary. It is fantastic. Literally welled me up with tears. Every time I watch it, I start to well up with tears. I'm like, damn it, Alex, again, you got me. And then Josh Thomas. I mean, come on. I was a huge fan of Josh before I became friends with Josh. And
then you hated me after that.
Well, for a little bit.
And then I got to know him, and I'm like, oh my God, get this guy away from me.
There was a brief moment where we fought, we got into an argument, and then Pat kind of mended us and brought us back together again.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that's what he does. And then finally, Jeff. Jeff, I met when he was 15 years old. And we met playing City Folk together, and we've been friends ever since. And
Thought it was Wild World, but
you thought wrong. That's for sure.
Every time I think it's Wild World.
But we met playing City Folk, and if you want to hear some funny wannabe gangster stories, go listen to the episode with me and Jeff. We were talking about how we were wheeling and dealing, and basically Jeff was time traveling to get turnip prices, and then we were running around with millions of bells. Kind of broke the game.
We were the Animal Crossing Mafia, okay?
We thought we were. But then reality kicked in, and it was like, yeah, we're just two idiots that, whatever. Okay, so the reason why I brought these guys back is basically I wanted to kind of go back over some stuff with them, because it's been approximately 3 months since Animal Crossing launched. And I wanted to get a feel and a vibe over some stuff and see where we're at, where we feel this game is at overall. The first thing I wanted to start off with, this is something that Holly and I did a topic about this week, and I'm curious, if you were to restart this game now, is there anything, well, let's word it this way. Is there anything about this game you wish you knew when you first started up this game? Alex, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I'm not sure. I was very much, like a lot of people who were expecting the game, reading everything I could about it, watching videos, all that stuff. And I kind of felt like I had my expectations set correctly, like set appropriately. But I did this time around, since like all this happened during quarantine, we went out and bought my wife a Switch and a copy of the game as well. And it was her first Animal Crossing. And from her perspective, there's a lot of things that I'm like, man, there's a lot that you wish you would know in the entry days of Animal Crossing that would like really pay off. Like they don't really tell you about like, like stacking up all of your stuff at the museum, like as you're waiting for it to be built. Like unless you're like an Animal Crossing player or you're talking to people, you're in the zeitgeist like online, then you would just be walking around the island for the first 4 days with like full pockets and not really, there's kind of like that if you have a lot of stuff in the early days, you set that stuff in front of whatever building you want it to go in, and that kind of stuff isn't really explained well in the early days of Animal Crossing. And so I feel like from like a new player's perspective, that'd be kind of crucial stuff.
Yeah. Josh, where's your mindset? Like, is there anything you wish you knew when you started this game? I mean, listen, the one thing I will say about Josh is he was destroying pre-launch in terms of like he was taking any footage and literally breaking it down, and he was basically the go-to pre-launch just for any information because you were killing it at that time with the analysis videos. But is there anything you wish you knew going in now?
I gotta be real. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't really. Yeah, I can't. I don't have an answer to that. I would say no, probably not.
Okay.
I feel like I knew a lot. Like you said, I was obsessing over every pixel that we got. I was like, this shell is blue. By the way, there was blue shells, and everybody's like, there's not blue shells. You're stupid. That's a white shell. There's summer shells. So I was right. I wish that I knew they were called summer shells, so I could have settled that argument months ago. Other than that, no.
How about you, Jeff? Anything that you wish you knew?
I just wish I knew that the gold tools would break. It bothers me to this day, but more than anything else that I'm still kind of kicking myself over is that I wish I knew that I couldn't pick up my town hall and put it somewhere else.
Because
your whole town layout kind of it's the crux of that,
Yeah.
And you're kind of stuck with it now. But we've made the best of it.
That was a big thing that both Holly and I talked about when we did a video earlier this week about it. Was the one thing that we took away. Like, man, it would have been awesome to know that like that town hall, that's definitely not ever moving. Like there was rumors, but I didn't necessarily believe the rumors because you didn't know what was true, what wasn't true. Was there anything you want to bring up again, Holly, or anything new that you thought about since we did that video?
No, not really. I mean, we talked about it in a recent episode, I guess, but the main one for me was that I wish I knew that I didn't have to take the first villagers that I found on Mystery Islands. But then I also said about like tickets are like gold dust at that stage. So I wasn't really thinking of that, but I just for a long time was taking forever to like grind those tickets, and then I just go out and get whoever, and so that's it really. Nothing's really changed since then, but that's the big one for me, I think.
If you could bring one tip to a new player playing Animal Crossing, what would that one tip be? Josh, I want to throw it to you first.
Oh my God. This is going to be me maybe getting up on my high horse here a little bit.
Not you.
I've noticed...
You would never do something like that.
What? Well, I've noticed this generation of Animal Crossing fans seems to kind of make the game a little more competitive than I personally think it should be. So I guess my tip would be to just like play it slow. This is like a slow burn kind of game. Enjoy the little subtle things and don't worry about what other people are doing. Like somebody else having some amazing museum design like outside or something. Like, you don't have to match that, and you don't have to feel bad about what you're doing. Just take it at your own pace. This is Animal Crossing, man. This is supposed to be relaxing, and, don't be competitive with it.
So, do you feel like that has a lot to do with the streaming community and social media now being so prevalent?
I think, yeah, because, like, when New Leaf came out, there was obviously social media, but it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
Because that was 2012. Like, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I think just the way that society is moving, we're kind of faster, we're more like connected, we're more this and that, and so anytime somebody sneezes in the game, a million people know about it. So I don't know, I think just taking it easy, relaxing, enjoying your time.
Also, I feel like to your point, like even just like the fact of the game to where you can have up to 8 players, like you're naturally going to run into other players that have more progressed islands than you, and so I
Yeah.
feel like there is that inherent like, oh, I gotta catch up,
Right.
Yeah.
and so like you said, like try to quell that and just like take it at your own pace.
It's a
I
hard
agree.
thing. It's definitely a hard thing. Jeff, what do you got? You got anything?
If I had to give one tip to new player, it would probably be kind of adding on to Josh's thoughts, not to take anything too seriously. Don't commit into your town in an extreme way until you unlock like what I consider to be like the end game, like the terraforming and building cliffs and stuff like that, because you're gonna want to change your island. More likely than not, you're gonna want to change your layout and stuff like that, and you're always gonna want to develop and make changes. So you're gonna kick yourself if you spend hours and hours and hours doing that stuff before you're able to move any of your layout around.
Yes, you're right on that. Alex, you have anything?
I mean, this is for people who are fans of Animal Crossing or like, you know, really invested. It's probably nothing new, but for a new player, I would say, you know, if you're putting your money trees down, make sure to mark the spot. I knew so many friends this time around that would chop down their money trees on accident.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I'm like, man, just put a dot, put something on the ground in front of it. So, and then otherwise than that, like I always felt like I was always running in. I'd forget to like buy a house plot when I went on a tour, and then that's like a wasted villager that I can't.
Oh yeah, because if you don't have the plot already done, and then you
or
go
if
meet
it's full,
somebody. Yeah.
I went to go meet a friend to pick up their islander was in boxes. Their villager was in boxes, and I went to go do it without even realizing I didn't have one ready.
That's
like
the
stuff
worst.
like that you don't think about.
That's the worst.
Sometimes, but
Holly, what about you? You got any tips? Just one. Just one, though, Holly. I don't need like 50. Just one.
Okay, mine is very similar to what you guys all said, but I would probably say is if you can get involved in a really good community at the start of you playing the game. Although to be honest, like I found a community kind of halfway through playing it, like probably about 250 hours in. But if you can find a good community, like, I mean, Bobby, like your community is amazing.
Bobby's.
Discord, there are really good Facebook groups, Twitter, but just kind of mingle with people that you can trust. And especially if you're a new player and they're a new player, then you can kind of exchange knowledge in like a safe, secure environment, I'd say.
I was going to say, and it's going to sound kind of weird, but I was going to say find yourself a Jeff MaHomey if you want to, and what I mean by that is find yourself somebody that is going to play with you every day, and like you become best friends with that person and just cultivate a relationship with them and help you grow and help you build and stuff. And that was, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like that to me was the ground changing moment of Animal Crossing for me. Like I played the original population growing, loved it, didn't really mess with Wild World. But then when I found Jeff in City Folk, it literally was drawing me in every day to play that. And then like as each iteration, I always tried to find that Jeff that I could be like, hey, let's go do this stuff together. Let's build together and stuff. And that would be my one thing is find somebody you can work together and build your game together with. It just makes it much more fun. Because that's the thing with this game. This game is very community driven. It's very friendship based, especially this one. Like there's so many things of like, hey, if you want to get better star bits, like go bring friends in to like wish upon stars with you, or if you want better hybrids, bring friends in to water your flowers. So there's all that stuff. So this game is
I learn new things every day.
Yeah.
I learn new things about this game all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Like from what you just said, I'm still learning things. Also, 9 years strong, Bobby. Love you, brother.
Love you too. What? Okay, so we've all played original games, and I think we're probably going to possibly have the very similar answer. But what is one thing that you love that was brought into New Horizons? Anybody can jump in. You can all jump in. Josh, I'll throw it to you. You got a long pedigree.
Right.
I'll have to ask people. We don't have, they're not going to be like, hey, me.
Can it just be
have a system.
Yeah.
Yeah, can it be something very specific, or does it have to be something grand?
Whatever you want. Anything that you find it's like you're so happy this is in the game.
Okay. I obviously I try to be a decent artist, And so for me, a lot of the times
Yeah.
I look at the art, I look at the style of the game, and I just really appreciate the engine that this game is built on. Just the lighting, the shadows. This is like, I mean, Animal Crossing went from being one of the ugliest Nintendo franchises from a technical standpoint,
Yeah,
to being
you're
like
right.
one of the best looking ones.
Yeah.
But if I were to be more specific with that, I would say the first time I discovered that there are actually thunderstorms in this game and you
Oh
can see the
my
lightning,
God.
it's the atmosphere is just so incredible. Like it's
The
so
wind,
great.
too.
Yeah, and the wind is another thing. Like just your
Yeah.
island feels more believable and cozy, and they really paid a lot of attention to atmosphere, and I think that's something that stands out the most for me, actually.
Yeah. There's
So, yeah.
nothing like that first heavy power. Like, I've had thunderstorms. It's like, oh, okay. But when you get that one that it's like you can hear it, it's almost like the thing is rumbling and like it's lighting up the ground and everything's getting lit up and like it's
Yeah.
just epic. It is really,
agree.
really good.
Sometimes you can even hear the wind too, and like
Mhm.
sometimes when I hear it and there's a thunderstorm in the game, I'm like, ooh, it's kind of cold in here. It's like very much not. I'm just like, ooh, it's very immersive.
Yeah, it's
The
really
one thing I want to add on to what Josh said too was I never was a person that took pictures in this game. Like in New Leaf, I'd snap occasional things. I find myself taking pictures all the time just because it feels really cool
Yeah.
to take pictures and the lighting and stuff that they have. Alex, what about you? What's one thing that you love?
You know, the first Animal Crossing was like one of my favorite games of all time, and to be honest, that's like the one that I predominantly played before New Horizons. So I didn't play a lot of the others. I didn't have a DS for a long time, and so or 3DS, and so I was coming in from like a long stint, or a long lapse rather, from the franchise, and so one thing that I loved was, you know, just the fact that it does take place on an island. And if you remember back to, I think we talked about this on a previous episode, Bobby, like if you had your Game Boy Advance on the original, you could go and visit the island with a friend with your link cables. Yeah, so good. And that being like, having that vibe as like the main vibe in this game, an island vibe, like that was just from the get-go, like one of my favorite things. And I was like super happy, like made me very nostalgic, I think. But yeah, it was good.
Holly, what about you?
Well, I don't know if mine counts, but I really love how amazing Celeste is in this game because she used to be. I know I mention her all the time, like she's all I talk about, but I love Celeste. I love just finding her on the beach. And in previous Animal Crossing games, I can't remember. She wasn't in New Leaf, was she?
No, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't, was she?
Was she? in New Leaf?
She was in the museum. She had a little gift shop on the top floor.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And
It was very
then-
forgettable in a way.
Yeah.
It literally is. So, and I loved the whole constellation thing, but the fact that like I love the DIYs that she gives. I prefer the space ones as opposed to the Zodiac ones because I find they're very like situational. But I just love Celeste. I'm a Celeste fan. She's
Holly,
She's
have
lovely.
you seen the new little plush of Celeste that has like the crystally eyes and she's like
No.
looking up at the sky? Yeah, there's like a.
Oh my
God.
Oh my god! I'm gonna
It's
wait.
pretty
Where is
great.
that? Where can I get that?
Oh,
I think it's
Jesus.
in Japan. It's in Japan right now. I know
Right.
it's like Japanese toys.
Is this a
that were coming
sales pitch?
out. Yeah.
Oh, she's sponsored. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
pretty
get
great.
one. She's my favorite.
Josh gets 10% of all Celeste sales.
How
That's why
about
he's-
Celeste plush?
She's a sponsor.
That specific
Celeste
one of her.
Industries.
Yeah.
Jeff, what about you? Anything that gets you excited about that you're happy is in this game?
Now I don't know if it's specific to New Horizons exactly because I played New Leaf for a couple weeks, but I didn't get like super hardcore into it, unfortunately. But I'm just a big fan of the fences, like the hedges and the different kinds of fences you can place outside. They're just so aesthetically pleasing to me. But I'm also a big fan of the customization of items too. How you might have a different color like Godzilla than I might, or like a robot.
Yeah,
Stuff
Light-
like that.
Oh
Lighthouse.
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
In your catalog, like
Yeah.
drink machines, all that.
You
Yeah.
can trade them with like your friends and stuff who
That
have
was
different
fun.
colors. So
Yeah.
that brings another sense of community and socializing to the game, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, you're dead on with that. For me, the one aspect that I really didn't think that I would, it actually scared me going into the game, and that was crafting. And the reason why it scared me was I was so afraid that it would hinder me or it would lock me behind something. Like they would just make it where like, hey, you need 6 of these and 5 of these and 4 of these in order to get this item, and you can't advance the game no further unless you have this item. And I was so worried that Nintendo would do something like that. And I was, but they haven't. Like, nothing that you have to craft really holds you back in terms of things. And so I started to really enjoy that, but I love the customizing as well. Like, I love going in and, you know, getting patterns and adding them to, like, pillows or whatever. Like, dude, the coolest thing is Josh's marshmallow bag and the hot dog bag. Like, if you guys have not seen that, you take a pillow, you customize it with the QR code that he created, or the codes that he created. My God, it is so cool that, like, he's got this mushroom bag or marshmallow bag with, like, this big gigantic marshmallow face on it, and then, like, a bag of hot dogs that looks laying in your campsite. It is so
That sounds cool.
Yeah, there's
Maybe
just
one of them.
there's amazing things that people are doing with the customization and stuff, but, like, that's just awesome, and I love it so much. Okay. Do you miss a town aspect as opposed to this, which we're on an island? Like, is there anything that you find yourself going like, man, I wish I was back in the town of New Leaf, or are you just like, hey, this is the greatest thing ever? Holly, I'm going to start with you on this one.
The only thing for me is that I miss the actual. Well, no. Do you know what? This is a difficult one because I'm building mine up like it's a little town as opposed to like a tropical island, and I think a lot of people have done that. So for me, it's not been a huge thing. So I'm sorry, that's probably a really boring answer, but for me, I'm actually not too bothered. I quite like the island paradisey kind of aspect, but I actually like both. I like both settings in general. So
Yeah.
I totally agree. I feel like, the fact that I can, whether I'm downloading, a QR code or whatever, like there's so much customization in this game. I can make it into a town, just like you said. Like, so if it's just a barren island that I start off with, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
At first I was a little nervous because when they first introduced the game, they were really playing up the like tropical summer aesthetic, and I was kind of like, I like Halloween in Animal Crossing and Christmas in Animal Crossing. I was like, whoa, is this going to be like all tropical? But I do think that like it's really kind of up to you in terms of what your island feels like. If you don't really want it to feel tropical, you can make it feel like whatever you want. So even though you're surrounded by water, and let's be real, the water on like the north top of your island is not even like, nobody even really pays attention to that.
Yeah,
you can't even fish up there. So yeah, I mean, I think it kind of goes both ways. I like it,
Jeff, how about you?
I feel like the island's a good idea. Like, I like the direction they were pushing it, but it still feels kind of cramped despite being probably the biggest map yet. While I do feel like the walls on either side of the town felt kind of cramped, it also allowed you to do more with your town in terms of like the aesthetic, like Holly was saying. Whereas you can't really make an island feel spooky from what I've seen yet. But
give it time. Check back in October.
So? Okay. I haven't time traveled, so I'm waiting on it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Come October, Mr. Halloween over here is going to blow people away with the stuff.
I got a lot of ideas.
Mr. Spooky, okay.
Doodled out.
For me, I'm just going to go the opposite of all you guys. Yes, I miss the town, and I miss the town so much that I've tried to recreate New Leaf on my island, where I basically moved my stores, up to the top where it was in New Leaf. I recreated the giant tree, which I wish they could give us like one giant tree that we could build. There's so much stuff that I do miss from having a town. Basically, I just miss the shopping district. I miss all the stores that we had, and I miss the Roost, and I miss Club LOL, and I miss Kix having a store, and Leaf having a store, and all these different things. The Dream Suite, like, I miss all those things that, like, I don't know how they're going to be implemented, if they are going to be implemented at some point. Like, there's rumors and all that stuff, but like, if it does get implemented, how is it cohesive, or is it a simple thing of like, hey man, we're going to get red once every 6 months, like, here you go, have at it, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't want that. I want the things of like, if I want to go check out Kix today, I want to go check out Kix today. If I want to go check out Leaf and go buy some shrubs. I want to be able to go do it. And that's the thing that I miss so much from New Leaf is those types of things. So the shopping district really is the thing that I loved about having a town is that outreach. And I understand, like, it's kind of like we're building this up from the ground up. It would make sense. Like, if you're building an island up from nothing, of course you're not going to have all the stores right away. It's going to take time. I just hope we eventually get those stores. If we do, I'll be happy.
I feel like that was kind of the escape from the walls, though. Like, you go to the city, and it was an escape from the confinement, and you got to explore, like, this part outside of the for lack of a better term, like the cell that they kind of put you in, and it was like, wow, this is actually lively. Like, my villagers walking around here. We get more of that in New Horizons, but it's still kind of like one confined island besides like Harv's Island and like the getaways,
Yeah. If you could change, and I already know one answer. I'm going to kick it to him first, Josh. If you could change one thing about New Horizons, one thing, what would it be?
Does this have to do with the community post I shared today?
It does. Yes, it does.
Okay. The music stinks. I don't like the soundtrack to this game pretty much at all. And the more I hear it, the less I like it. It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't feel like Animal Crossing music to me a lot of the times. I'm talking about the hourly music. I think the rest of the music is fine.
Mr. Accordion.
Yeah, they're using a lot of the same instruments for so many of the hourly tracks, and a lot of them just sound so similar, and they kind of had this weird way of sort of grating on my nerves after a while.
They're like 3 p.m. and like 4 p.m. I think are so whiny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that instrument is, but it's like a horrible like violin. Like a really like grating sound.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because I looked into it, and Koizumi Totaka, who usually does the music for Animal Crossing, a lot of other Nintendo franchises too, he played like a supervising role this time, and I don't think he was as involved with the soundtrack as previous games. And I kind of felt that even before knowing that. I kind of felt like this is a little off compared to what I would suspect from him. So I would change the music because, boy howdy, I don't know. I just don't like it.
I'm with you 100%. And my feeling would be, if they would, I don't care if they would charge me for it. I would pay for it. If they would give me a jukebox that I can go, hey, Bobby, pick what 3 a.m. song you want from all of them. Okay, now pick a 4 a.m. from all of them. And I could get like $1,000, and I could have one song playing at 3 o'clock from Population Growing, and then like Wild World would be at 4, and then New Leaf would be at 5, and then like there's probably only 2 songs that I actually, or two musical hours that I like. I like 7 a.m. and I like noon, and that's probably the only ones that I go like, okay, I can get into this. Like, this is okay. But it's weird because with New Leaf, every single hour, like, I got excited, and it was like I would be like, oh, I gotta play at 5 o'clock because I love 5 p.m. Like I love the music at 5 p.m. and it's like, I don't feel that way with this one. It's just weird.
Are any of you familiar with Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver? They actually had an item in that game, I think in the post game, where you could, if you turned it on, it would play the music from like the original Game Boy games.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And you had that option to like switch between them if you like the old ones more. And I think it would be cool if they did something like that.
Dude, I would love if they did that.
That's super cool.
I'd give you another $60, Nintendo. I know a lot of people are like, Bobby, you're an idiot, shut up. But I would totally do it.
Bobby, you can mute the game and just play the YouTube playlist.
I know, but that's not the same, man. You know that's not the same. Like, when I go into Nooks, I want to hear the music in Nooks. I don't want to hear
Well, I'm not surprised the guy that owns 14 Switches and 12 copies of the game is okay with spending another $60 on music.
Probably getting exposed.
Somebody has to keep Nintendo afloat during a pandemic, man. I don't know what to tell you.
That's true.
Man.
You're doing a good job.
Bastard. Alex, what about you? What's one thing that you would change in this game?
Man, let me buy multiple items at one time.
Oh,
my gosh.
Yeah.
So, there's just like so many small things that just add up to the tediousness. And I'm like, if you could just make this one change across the board, let me buy multiple, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It would save me so much time.
Yeah.
And also in the early days, just when you could only donate one item at a time before you get your museum built. Oh my gosh. That sort of stuff just frustrates the heck out of me.
Especially when you have to do 15. Like the first 5
Yeah,
to Nook, I was like, okay, whatever. Nook's not Blathers, I get it. But then when it gets to Blathers and he's still doing, I'm like, dude, this better not be the way the game is, man. I will kill somebody.
Yep.
Yeah, especially the Able sisters, by the way, is just real. Like a lot of the times, like today, for example, there were like tropical summer shorts that I wanted to buy, and there were 4 pairs, and I'm like, oh, I want all 4 pairs, why not? And I had to like buy it in the dressing room, come out, back in. It's so tedious,
That's
in my butt, yeah.
In Farrell just said in the chat, like 5 isn't bulk. Yeah, in what world is 5 bulk? Like if I buy bulk, like if I go to Walmart or I go to Sam's Club, like I buy, whatever, like in gigantic boxes, not like 5.
5 flowers.
Well, and the thing is, like when you buy turnips, they're not like, do you want to buy 5 turnips that are 500? And you just like say
your money amount.
They're not familiar with the concept. Yeah,
the system is there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I buy as much as I possibly can. Could you imagine if they nerfed turnips? Like if they nerfed the stock market by going like you can only buy like 1 or 5? I would be like, I'm done. I'm not doing any more turnips at all. What about you, Jeff? Is there one thing that you would change?
Kind of adding on to that a little bit, the clams. They need to fix the clam system with the bait. It's just I just want to be able to craft more bait at once. But besides that, I would love for the online to not be trash with the online transitions. I don't want to wait 3 minutes every time someone wants to come over to my town. I invite numerous people to my town anytime I stream the game, and it takes maybe 20 minutes like minimum to get everybody in, and then someone's got to go by the time it's
or someone crashes. That's the worst.
Yeah. Or someone's internet goes out and then everybody's got to rejoin.
It's bad.
And I mean, the problem is this time around, you can have up to 8 people in an island at once. And so it's not even like 4 people coming. It's like so many people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of get like the idea they're going for there, that they wanted to feel like an event when your friend comes over and all that. But I just feel like there's got to be a better way of doing it.
Or like a grand entrance.
Yeah.
Screens.
The one thing I'll say about I'm not going to say it. Go ahead, Holly. What's one thing for you, Holly?
I need customizable fences. I need to be able to change the colors. I want the lattice fence in white so badly. Like that would be perfect. And I want to be able to put stuff on the fences like bunting or flowers or like cute things, Like, and we just can't do that. And I'm pretty sure in one of the trailers there was a white lattice fence, and then they just got rid of it for some reason and made it like a kind of generic, like wooden color, like a wood. So I don't know. I need customizable fences. That would be great.
I would love, and it's kind of a twofold thing. And I don't know exactly how you would do it. I would love if we could take the Happy Home Designer thing for outside. But I don't know how that even works. Like, I like being able to move the furniture that way as opposed to the other way. But I want to be able to lay area rugs outside. Like, that drives me bonkers that I can't do that. Just because, like, I designed, like, an outdoor, like, restaurant. And it was like, it would be so cool to take a themed... Well, another thing I did like a bait and tackle shop. How cool to be able to take the giant fish rug and drop that in the middle of it. Like, you can't do that stuff, and it annoys me that we can't, and it makes no sense.
You can do that, Bobby. You just have to make like 6 patterns and put them on the ground.
Stop. That's not what I want. You know that. Like that giant fish thing is.
With the design
of course you would, Josh. Of course you would. You would ruin my moment.
It's possible, Bobby. It's possible.
Well, here's the problem, Josh. I have almost every single slot filled. I don't have slots to make a giant fish rug.
That's true. And when you make another character on your island, does it still use the same patterns? I think somebody told me it does.
Yes, it pulls off. Which in the past games, I used to just make multiple characters to have multiple slots. They don't do that this one. Everybody shares, which is so dumb. So dumb. Because I got news for you. If I if I was a father in quarantine, I probably would have killed a couple kids just because I can't even imagine sharing an island with them, doing all this stuff, and then next thing you know, like my patterns are missing because they wanted to put one in that they wanted. I would be like, okay, we got problems, kids.
Bobby's going a little crazy here.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
So here's kind of a twofold thing. When it is kind of like a prediction thing. When do you feel like the next update will come? Update/event. When do you think it'll hit, and what do you think it will be? Jeff, I'm going to throw it to you first.
I'd like to think that they do it around like the end of June, early July, maybe. I would love to see like a barbecue or a summer-focused update, maybe like a beach party.
That's pretty cool. That's a good idea. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say something. Obviously they wouldn't call it 4th of July or anything like that with it having a global audience. But some sort of like outdoor barbecue, picnic tables. And then after that, I don't know. Like, I kind of like looked at other games, and I guess we could look to past Animal Crossing games, but to be honest, I can't remember all of the events. But thinking about like Overwatch, they have like a summer games sort of thing. Something fun like that could be cool in Animal Crossing, where your villagers are like racing or whatever, some sort of like whether it's like a bigger fishing competition. I don't know.
Yeah,
Summer Olympics or something.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? I know your mind's ticking with something. You got to have some. You're Mr. Summer, too. You're Mr. Halloween and Mr. Summer.
Mr. Any season. I think, actually, I would not be surprised if they have something coming out to us every month. So I would say in July, they'll probably introduce some stuff. We have obviously seen a lot of stuff from data mining, which I won't go into because I don't want to spoil it for people. But there's a lot of stuff apparently locked and loaded in this game, kind of waiting to come out. I would guess that Cap'n has got to come back. How do you not bring Cap'n back in July? That's like the quintessential summer month. So maybe they'll bring back the idea from New Leaf where you could go diving and collect all those sea critters and crustaceans. I think that'd be a really good July update. I think they'll probably do something else with Harv's Island, where there's like another photo challenge or something. Here's a summer photo challenge.
That would be cool.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Because they got to give us some reason to go to Harv's Island, because that place is creepy and I'm not going there very easily. So yeah, I can think July.
Holly, what about you?
I would like, I hope this counts, I would like an event that introduces us to diving again. Kind of like a diving tournament kind of thing that's in like the height of summer. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Like you have to get all of the diving sea creatures, I guess. That would be fun. But I like the whole barbecue, summer vibes. Maybe they could give us a couple more pools, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But something nice and summery, I think, would be good. I don't mind the wedding event, but it just doesn't feel like I just don't know why that's added now. I would have liked an actual like introduction to summer kind of event, I suppose.
Now, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but in New Leaf, we got fireworks shows like every Sunday during the summertime, right?
In the original GameCube game, the 4th of July was a real thing, because obviously it was really more localized to the territories. Yeah. But ever since then, Wild World till now, they do the fireworks in August. So that's why I didn't say fireworks. I bet fireworks will come in August.
Yeah.
But I'm very much excited about that, because now with the prettiness of the game engine and everything and the lighting.
To the sky,
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we get fireworks show, because that's the one thing in New Leaf. It was like every Sunday night you would get a fireworks show, and it was so awesome to have those. That's the thing I want. I want to be able to see in this engine.
I just remember this. You could make your own fireworks in New Leaf with your pattern.
Oh,
really?
Yes. Remember that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they would like blow up. Yeah, they would blow up in the sky, and you'd have like, you could have a face like, or like whatever pattern. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
New Leaf is amazing. I completely missed that.
Yeah, New Leaf.
I don't know.
Listen, New Leaf was fantastic. Like, that's the thing. Like, New Leaf to me was unbelievable.
That's my favorite Animal Crossing.
Play it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, I want to throw this question out. We got a couple more, and then we'll throw questions to the chat. So if you guys in chat have some questions, keep them on hand. Is there any game genre that Nintendo does that you would like to see an Animal Crossing aesthetic, like a crossover? How, like, basically right now we get Mario on top of everything. But would you like to see Animal Crossing branch out and get, obviously when they did it with like Happy Home Designer or Amiibo Festival, like that's not what we were wanting. But like if they were to do it like with another genre, would you want that? And if so, like what type of game would you want it on? Holly, I'll throw it to you first.
Obviously, Battle Royale. Come on. Come on.
What, are you going to kill animals?
Zipper running around with an axe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, okay. First of all, I really want this Build-A-Bear crossover to come out. That's what I really want. Like probably more than anything in the whole wide world. In terms of like maybe just in the game, I would love to see, because obviously we had like the Mario furniture, and with the fortune cookies you could exchange them and get cool items. I would love to see a Super Mario Sunshine crossover in terms of like furniture, because that would literally be Tropical Island. Like,
So dope.
can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Like, can you imagine having like a mini flood? I don't know. Maybe I just want Super Mario Sunshine again.
Jesus.
I just love Sunshine
Don't say
so
that in
much.
front of Josh. He'll be over there freaking
I
out.
like Holly 100% more. I already liked her. Now she's at the top of the list for me.
It's my favorite
Let's
game
go.
ever, and I just feel like I need that. I need that crossover. That would be amazing.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Last week, Holly told me she hates Sunshine, but the problem is she loves Josh, so she's just kissing up to Josh right now.
God, me
Okay,
too.
I thought we weren't going to bring that up. I thought that was not going to be broadcast.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Can't
to, but
trust
you know.
Bobby with anything. You should know this.
No, all I'll say is that Josh, I literally used to call you my like internet husband, but this is back in like 2015, so
Oh my
Well,
God.
don't go to him. Bobby calls me that now. So
I do. I was calling him Sweetie earlier. I was like,
You
Sweetie.
also call him that? I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I was your internet husband.
There's a lot going on here.
Bobby, how could you?
I'm sorry. Damn it. I was trying to keep this on the
that's
down
what's
low.
on mine now.
And the messed up thing is Alex is on the side too, because Alex and I were exchanging like
We've been texting.
yeah, we've been texting.
Ours is more about an emotional relationship.
yeah,
not
pretty
necessarily
much.
physical. But,
Exactly,
You know, I'm
exactly.
here. I'm on the side.
Exactly. I don't even know where I was at. Okay, Jeff, what is something you would like to see Animal Crossing dive into?
So this is the only, I have a little script that I'm reading off. I don't know if you could tell. This is the only one I didn't have an answer to until we started. And if anybody noticed, I muted my mic and I was typing away like a madman. I came up with this like maybe 2 minutes ago. I would love to see the Animal Crossing cast do like a game show style. Like I just think it would be so neat to see Tom Nook in like a Steve Harvey-esque position, or like Isabelle isn't like the TV girl from Wheel of Fortune. I just think it'd be so cute. They could totally do it.
I'd be down
That's a
with
great
that.
idea.
I'd be down with that.
Would Tom Nook get the little mustache too?
Of course he would get the
Steve Harvey
mustache.
Alex, what about you?
So the crossover I have in mind, and this is because I've been playing some puzzle games lately, and I've got Captain Toad on the brain. I would love to see.
Ooh.
I don't want
like
Captain
that.
Toad items in Animal Crossing. I want Animal Crossing stages in Captain Toad Treasure
Oh,
Tracker,
wow.
where you are solving puzzles and you're like walking past Nook's cranny and
Oh my
Tom
God.
Nook's over here, and it's like you'd have to think, who are you like fighting in that game? I guess you'd still have like Goombas or
Bees.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, bees, yeah.
that's so
Bees is
good.
a great idea actually.
Zipper.
Yeah, Zipper, right? But yeah, I've been playing that game lately, and man, I would love to have like almost like a reskin of Animal Crossing over top
Oh,
of that. I
that'd
think
be
that'd
so
be super
cool.
fun.
I'd like
That
that
would
a
be
lot.
amazing.
Josh, how about
Yeah.
you? Anything?
I have two quick answers.
Go ahead.
Number one, Bobby, you know how obsessed I am with theme parks, and we're getting Super Nintendo World in Orlando and Hollywood and Japan and places. How is Animal Crossing not the perfect shopping area in a theme park? Really
Right?
going into Nook's Cranny.
Dang,
Oh
Go-
my God.
The Able Sisters could be where you get all the clothing themed around Animal Crossing.
Oh my God, dude. Yes.
You're a marketing genius. I gotta give that to you.
See, I've hung out at Universal a lot. I've scoped out the area for where
Not your
everything's
first
gonna
rodeo.
go. So that's something I really want. I think that's possible, but I think we're probably like a decade away because it's going to be 2024 when it opens in Orlando. So we're a little. But the other thing I was going to say, and you will all probably think I am crazy for saying this, but I stand by it. In concept, Amiibo Festival was not terrible.
No.
A party game.
Mhm.
Get back here. Listen. Hear me out. I hate it just as much as anyone else. But the idea of a multiplayer party game that's
Yeah.
like Animal Crossing meets Mario Party,
Yeah.
in theory, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess
But
if
you
you
have
do
to,
it right.
yeah, you have to do it with love. You have to have a lot of
Yeah.
fun. They did not do that. They just made something to sell plastic toys. But
Yeah.
a party game with Animal Crossing, I could have been totally down with that. I mean, I'm making little mini games in New Horizons.
Yeah.
And that's not even like, a party engine or anything. So I think it could work. I don't think they're ever going to do it, nor do I want them to, because I don't think they do it right.
Yeah.
But like, Animal Crossing meets Mario Party is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was just a terrible execution. It's there, but they just don't.
The basis was there, but the problem was they based it on the stock market. And if you knew what was going on, there was a way to win that game almost every single time. Like, it really wasn't that difficult.
It's literally programmed, by the way, to where the last 5 to 10 turns, it's going to do something drastic to the players.
Yeah.
So you're always going to get some weird upset at the end. I have no idea where they put that in, but every time I played it, it happens. But I mean, think about it. Like, if it was really made with care, you get the items like the shovel and the axe, and that lets you do certain things on the board, and the seasons and all that, and the customizing the board. There's a lot there. I'd like to see it, but it's not going to happen. So I'm okay with that.
The one game that I would love to see them take the aesthetics for is Mario Golf. I would love to see them. I feel like Animal Crossing is such a low, chill game that it would be nice to have, like, basically, like, you create your villager, and however you want to create your villager is what it is. You could pick an islander or a villager to be, like, your caddy, and maybe they give you power-ups or whatever along the way of, like, basically they could smell out things or figure out things that, like, other ones can't do. So, you know, if you take I don't know, if you take Raymond, which, you know, he wears glasses, maybe he can see further down and be like, hey, there's a water hazard down there, or something stupid. Like, they can give you tips and advice. I did that just for you, Josh, because I know how much you don't like Raymond.
I thought you were gonna reference Tom Nook's clear obsession with golf. Tom Nook is all about golf nowadays.
But it would be kind of cool, right? It would be kind of cool to have that, like, and like you said, you go to Nook's Cranny where you could go buy powered up golf balls or golf clubs or things like that, and, like, you go to get your you go to the Able Sisters to buy your golf gear, and I would be all about it, man, because I loved what Mario Golf was on the 3DS, and I just think that, like, the chill vibe of Animal Crossing would be amazing. And then just the fact of, like, if they took the creator mode and they actually let you start to create your own golf courses or certain holes and stuff, like, that would be kind of just a...
Wouldn't it be rad if you could, like, link your New Horizons save file to this game, and then, like, it imports your furniture collection. You can, like, decorate the courses.
Oh my god!
Or, like, the main menu have that.
Yeah.
Like your house, you know, in the background.
Before, if you guys, again, chat, if you have some questions, get them together, because we're going to bounce to you guys in a second here. But the last final thing I want to throw at you guys is, we all had expectations going into New Horizons. Do you feel like Nintendo met your expectations, or are they just short on expectations? Like, where is your litmus? Where's the litmus test at for this thing for you? Alex, I want to throw it to you first. Where do you feel?
I mean, I'm pretty happy. I think, again, we've said it time and time again, like, the multiplayer was such a huge letdown when they were, you know, during the trailers, when we were first seeing, like, everybody running around the island together. My imagination kind of ran wild, and I was picturing, like, you know, I don't want people being able to edit my island, but what if they were, like, you know, just a hop, skip, and away, and you could go and visit their community just like that, versus, like, this, you know. And I would love it, like, where if I was, like, physically walking on my island, cross some sort of bridge, and whoever I was linked with, like, I had all these big ideas for what the multiplayer would be, and the fact that it doesn't even, like, reach, like, a bare bone level of quality in my eyes, that's, like, a huge disappointment. But I think overall, like, you know, the frequency of the events have been great. Like, that was something I was a little worried about, honestly. But yeah, like, every month we have something new, and I can't complain too much, right? Like, it's such a great game. It definitely has its flaws, but I've poured hundreds of hours into it at this point, and yeah, I'm just thankful to have it, especially during quarantine. So.
Yeah. Josh, what about you? Did it meet your expectations?
I don't even know what my expectations were going in, to be honest with you. I would say maybe it didn't meet my expectations in some regards, because there's a lot of stuff that was in previous Animal Crossing games that's really not here yet. I mean, we just got Crazy Red or Jolly Red.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that stuff would have been there from the get-go.
Yeah.
So there's elements like that, and, like, the online is better in New Leaf, in my opinion. You could go off to that island, you could play mini games together. So it's like there's a lot of leaps forward and things that I appreciate, but there are a lot of things where I'm like, oh man, it's really weird that isn't here. Diving for sea critters and crustaceans and all that. So it's like, I don't know. It's the kind of game where I feel like I can't really fully grasp how I feel about it until, like, a year in or something to see what they end up adding. Because
once you can look back.
Yeah, it's one of those games I think you got to look back on to be like, was that a really good game or just okay game? You know, so for now, I would say, yeah, I'm sort of in the middle still. You know.
Yeah. Jeff, how about you?
Short answer is yes. Long answer is no. I'm putting hours and hours and hours into this game, and I'm enjoying it every step of the way. But they still left something that you yearn for, and I can't put my finger on what it is quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I still, my Animal Crossing thirst has yet to be quenched, if that makes sense. Like I'm still like waiting for like the big huzzah moment of like, yes, we did it. You know. I think they handled a lot of things very well, like putting furniture outside, and the graphics are a huge step up. But I'm still like, I'm waiting for that big moment where I feel like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. This is Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
I can't figure it out.
I'm with you a little bit there. Like the other day I realized like I've dived in I've dropped so many hours into this thing, and it feels like I'm going in and I'm looking for something and I'm not sure what I'm looking for, and I don't know what it essentially is. So I think I'm with you as well. Like you said, short answer, like absolutely, man. I've dropped 300 hours in. That's the other thing too. Is like
it's a new Animal Crossing. It's what we want.
Typical. I mean, I think we can all agree upon this. Like typical Animal Crossing, like you're winding down at this point. 300 hours is you've kind of like hit what you are, and now you'll pick up another 100 hours. Like with New Leaf, I put 600 hours in total. Right, and that was a year's playing that game. I played a full year, 600 hours. This one I got 300 hours in, and I'm not even like 3 months in. So it's like I'm dropping 100 hours a month into this game, and so I think that's kind of what's got me a little thrown off too. Is
starting to burn out a little, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Holly?
I am with all of you. I like completely agree with all of you. I think for me, I wasn't really sure what my expectations would be, because once the crafting aspect was introduced, that's when in my head I was like, oh, this is not going to be like previous Animal Crossing games, because it's such a huge mechanic, you know, and like the really in-depth like craft. Well, I suppose it's sort of in-depth. There's a lot of items to craft. There's a lot of different customization tools. So actually going into the game, it was almost like, I know this is Animal Crossing, but this is not the Animal Crossing that I've known, you know? So, but then I've got over 600 hours, so I'm loving it, but I'm just not, I can't quite put my finger on it at the minute.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my stance on it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really quick, I actually want to piggyback on what you guys have said. Yeah, I kind of feel that as well, like to where it's like, this is clearly Animal Crossing, and it's got so many cool things, but there is this element of like, yeah, but when does Animal Crossing come out?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's really weird. I can't make sense of it, but there is this feeling in the back of my mind that's like, this game's cool, but when does Animal Crossing come to the Switch? I don't know. I know that makes no sense, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling.
To be fair, I think we all realize, if you've played previous Animal Crossing games, there are things missing. There's absolutely things missing. And I know people will immediately go like, well, of course, the holiday events aren't there. No. There's other things missing. The roost is missing.
Stuff.
Yeah, the roost is missing.
Small things,
I loved ordinances. They were great.
Yeah, there's just
they
little
also,
things. The post office.
They handled some of the special characters in this rather weird way to where some of them I'm more annoyed with. When I see Sahara, I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you got to buy 17,000
CJ and Flick. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's a little bit like, you know, whereas before in the GameCube game, when I saw Sahara, I was like, oh my God, Sahara's here.
I'm in my house, ruin everything, but it's fine.
And not only that, like with Red, like I said earlier, like, dude, I've seen Red 2 times. The original time to unlock him and one more time. That is ridiculous. Like, and this, you know, like, before he used to come once a week, and as difficult as it is to hit the right painting or art piece that he has correct in the museum, it's a little frustrating, because it's like, okay, you're coming once every 2-3 weeks or whatever it is. I mean, it's been a month almost now that I've seen him last. It's a little infuriating, because it's like, it's going to take me forever to fill the, you know, the art. But I've already filled the fossils. Fossils are done for me. Like, I got that knocked out. But like, you know, fish, I know fish is going to take me a year. I know bugs are going to take me a year. But like, art could literally take me longer than that. And I'm like, that's crazy to think, you know? So
the art I almost don't bother with. I'm just like, oh, he's shown up. Okay, I'll probably buy the wrong thing.
Yeah.
don't really care.
Kirsty in the chat, Kirsty Robinson says, Holly, do you have an island tour up on YouTube?
I don't. It's something that I'm working on. I probably a lot of you know that I've been working on this space museum for so long, getting all the star fragments, crafting like all the Celeste DIYs. So, that's what I'm working on constantly, but I will have one up soon. I'm hoping in the next few weeks because I played this for so many hours and I still haven't completed my island. So it is going to happen. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise.
Amber Franklin asks, I know where Bobby and Holly stand, but thoughts on everybody else of people requesting high dollar amounts or high amounts of bells or Nook Mile tickets on either items or villagers. She said she had someone request 9,900 bells for one pair of shoes and or 20 Nook Miles just to sell turnips. Like, what do you guys feel about the gouging that's happening in this game compared to other games? Jeff, go ahead.
I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm really not. With any culture shock video game like this, there's always going to be a side economy and stuff. Like you have like Nookazon and stuff like that, and it's kind of just to be expected at this point. Like even free games like Warframe, they have like real money markets that you can pour into it and stuff like that. And I mean, I guess it has its place in the community, but I think some of it's being taken a little overboard. Like 1,000 Nook Mile tickets for Raymond, like for a villager. At that point, you can just farm it yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing if you just need like, oh, like I need this item and I gotta go get it. But I think it's bad for if like, oh, I want this villager, and you're gonna have to grind for thousands of hours to even be able to buy that. So I think there are ups and downs of it.
I think earlier in the show, Josh said something about like the community of New Horizons feeling different than in previous games, and I think this is one of the main aspects of that. Like the price gouging is. I mean, like I've visited Turnip Exchange Islands and had great experience, but also like just the greed on the front page of Turnip Exchange. It's like, you want how much for me just to come? I don't even have that. I'm not even gonna get that much money from selling turnips.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know. That part of the experience isn't great.
Josh, and this I'm really curious about, because are you just a loner when you play Animal Crossing, or do you actually go and do the turnip stuff, or do you just play by yourself?
I have about 3 other friends that I know in real life that I'll play with, and 2 of them don't play it much, so mostly I play it single player.
Okay. So you don't do turnips, you don't go to people's islands and sell turnips and all that? Like,
no, but that would also explain why my house has only been upgraded like twice, and I have a mess everywhere. Bobby, I need a loan of a couple million bells, please.
We're gonna bring you on Nook No Nook and let you play for something.
Yes,
because that would be amazing if you did that.
And even if I lose, you're gonna give them to me, right?
We'll see. I'll pay you to come on the show. How about that? Let's see what else we got here. Oh my God, the questions are flying in. Ninja Chris says, were you guys disappointed that there are barely any interactive items in the game to create mini games? Like you can't even kick a soccer ball around like in the GameCube version. Like, do you think that would add another? I mean, obviously it would add another. But what do you guys think? Like, Josh, you come from GameCube originally. Like, what's your thoughts on stuff, the interacting of the items?
It's so weird because there is like a soccer or Holly, a football goal. See, there is a football goal. But you can't kick a ball into it. And then there are also a lot of different types of balls, but you go up to them and you just press A and it like bounces. And it's like, oh, you had the stuff there, Nintendo.
So close.
And the only thing I can think of is they're like, well, if there's lag, then the ball would be hard. But it's like, Nintendo, if we're at a point where you can't properly program a ball online, we're in some trouble here. So like I have no idea why it wouldn't be like that. But yeah, a lot of that little stuff really confuse a lot of creativity for the players in the community. And so, yeah, I do wish there was a little bit more of that.
Alex, how about you?
I miss like the game consoles that you could access in the GameCube version. I know that's like, I know people have talked about it a million times, but Like when I think about those kind of objects, I don't necessarily. I do think of the soccer field because I wanted to make a soccer field in this game, and when I found out you couldn't move them, I was severely disappointed. But I think like right under that is game consoles, that kind of stuff. Like not being able to collect that stuff anymore is a bummer for sure.
Jeff, you got any input on that?
I mean, Alex and Josh really said most of what was on my mind, but just to tack on a little bit, I think it's also a letdown that you can collect like the game cabinets of like Star Crusader or whatever the name of it is, but you can't interact with them, like you can't play them. Like
I've got a whole arcade in my basement. 10 arcade cabinets, can't interact with any of them.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
kinda
besides
like
jumping up and pressing the screen, but other than that,
they could have done a little. They have so much Nintendo polish already, but they just missed it where it counted. Like with no more moving balls or interactable mini games and such, and they got rid of the minigame island. So I just think they missed a lot there.
Yeah, Holly, anything?
I don't really have too much to add. The only thing is that I didn't really play the GameCube one, but I know that you'd like push around the ball, and it would just be like a little bit of fun. Yeah. So, I can't say that I'm missing it, but I completely agree. Like the mechanics are there because when you go up to a ball, like I don't know why they thought just bouncing it up and down would be like a fun pastime, but like I don't know. That's just me though. So that's. But then the thing is, I also like the fact that like people are making their own games, and so I feel like we are as like a community doing that anyway. But it would have been nice to have more goals, like a Toy Hammer or.
I mean, that just makes you have goals, you have the nets. How easy would it have been to just be like, okay, kick the soccer ball, and people could, and then you have the walls. You could have put the walls up. You put 4 people in there running back and forth kicking. It would have been amazing.
Or even if just like get it with a shovel, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Or even if they just confined that space, like in order to put a ball down, you'd have to have 2 like goals set up, and it just created like a rectangle or something that you could put it down, like a confined space. They could have done so many things with it,
Yeah, absolutely. Nintendo says, what is one of your unpopular opinions of Animal Crossing? Josh.
Oh, why do you got to start with me?
Because you're Mr. like
of New Horizons, I guess I can just give you one.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I got one. Oh, I'll just go with this one right here. I hate Raymond. I want to say I am on record before the game launched, and I was looking through all the new stuff, and I saw Raymond. We didn't even know his name, and it was a blurry little thing. I'm like, I hate this cat. He looks so smug. Look how smug this cat looks. And it turned out to be Raymond. So I'm happy to say that I've hated Raymond before it was popular to hate Raymond. So I'll say that because I know everybody loves Raymond. It's literally a sitcom. I just realized that. Everybody does love Raymond. Ray Romano told the prophecy. Everybody loves Raymond.
Alex, what about you?
Man, dude, unpopular opinion, or I guess like the whole like collecting seashells thing is so overrated to me. Everyone else I know is like that's the first thing they do when they log into the game. Like I've got piles and piles of seashells on my island because I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
About telling that stuff.
So boring.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
Unpopular opinion. I feel like the balloons have lost their charm. It used to be like a once in a while you get like so excited, you get that dopamine of like, oh my god, it's a balloon, and now it's just like it's another balloon. Like every 5 minutes you're like, I can find it so the noise will go away.
Something about it still gets me going.
But the thing is like it's better than New Leaf balloons, because New Leaf you get the New Leaf like furniture, and then that was it. You get the balloon furniture, and then it would just repeat. It was like, oh, please stop, please go away.
It's every 5 minutes, literally.
When I hear the little gust, I'm like, oh, where is it? I get excited, man.
What about an unpopular opinion?
This is true.
There you go.
What about you, Holly? What about you?
Okay. I wish that it was. Basically, I think it's too easy to get DIYs in this game, and
too
part
easy.
Of that comes from the fact that, like,
you mean repeat DIYs? Because I
just how often we get them. But hold on. There is a second part to this.
Good.
Because we have no DIY storage. You can't put them in your own storage or a separate storage. You just have to litter them everywhere. And I kind of feel like now I've got so many DIYs and I have nothing to do with them because I've I've either got them all, my friends have got them all. Like, I send out a big long list into the Discord, and like no one is like, oh, I need this, because everyone's got them. Whereas like I feel, I don't know, I just wish they were maybe a bit more, I don't know. I wish it was the case about how at the start of the game you pick up certain materials and your character goes, I know what I can do with this.
Yeah.
But kind of, you lose that after X amount of items, and I kind of wish they had maybe kept that like that. But then again, I think as well, when you go like island hopping, you end up with so many DIY bottles. So I guess
It'd be great if you could collect, like, let's say 5 or 10 of those that you already have, the duplicates, and turn them in for a random DIY that you don't have.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd be good with that.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Yeah. I mean, I have all my opinions are very popular, so I don't feel the need to get into this whole thing. But I will throw some shade at Mr. Nintendo Talk, and I will be as bold as to say, like, I don't think the campsite's the be all end all. I think that the campsites are okay, and I want to cancel campsites. So there you go. That'll get Pat fired up. So, Bean says, "What is the most annoying thing that players that have New Horizons as their first game ask?" So what are some things that you guys, like, we've all played Animal Crossing games, but is there things that New Horizon players ask that just annoy you?
I think I might have one.
Go ahead, Hallie.
It's when people say, like, does anyone have Flick or CJ on their island?
Oh, and
like,
dude,
and
you can't do anything with them, so stop asking me. Like
you don't need to see them. There's nothing that they can do for you. But
exactly.
I see it asked all the time. But I understand people are like just learning, so I get it. But it does drive me literally up the wall. Just a tiny bit.
How about you, Jeff?
I have a little bit of gripe with this. So it might just be a streamer thing, but so many times I will have brand new people in my chat just come in and be like, "Hey, what are your turnip prices?" I'm like, dude, first off, that's your first message in my chat. Second off, you don't even follow me. Third off, like, you can say hi. You can, like, say hello to me. You could introduce yourself. It's... I just sound like a jerk when I say this, but it's just like there's no consideration or like interest in some of these new players. They don't care about the sense of community. They just want, like, what can you do for me? Like they come into my realm of, like, I'm trying to hang out with these lovely people who show me love all day, and it's like they say, hey, what can you give me? And it gets a little old after a while.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. Like, it's the streaming aspect of it is something that frustrates me sometimes. Is like, you will see that I'm doing a particular thing, or we're doing something as a community, like whether it be like I'm going to island tours, or I'm playing a game, like I'm literally playing a game on stream, or like I'm building something on stream, and like they'll be like, "Hey, can I come over?" And I'm like, that's not what I'm doing today. Like, and it's just something new. Like, the people that are in the stream that come all the time, they know, like, hey, this is what we're doing today. But it's always somebody new, and they're just like, can I come over? And I'm like, no. And then, like, an hour later, like, it's the same questions, like, dude, no, just stop.
I think Bobby as well. Like, with that, it's like, especially if you're doing a stream that's like, hey, I'm building this, and it's like, why would I let you come over and like ruin my stream?
Well, not even that. I can't build. Like, if I'm building something, you come over. By the way, that is one of the most frustrating things that Nintendo, why in the world would you not allow me to move an item or pick an item up or do anything when someone's in my island? It's so dumb. It's like, we're supposed to be all about community, and then, like, I can't even give items to Blathers when somebody's over. Like, really? Like, come on. So frustrating. What about you, Josh? What's something that, although you don't play with people online, so...
People don't talk to me, Bobby. So this is, I don't have this problem.
I think for me, it's so I live in Denver. My East Coast friends, since they're 2 hours ahead of me, their stores always close at 8 p.m. my time. And so I'll be like getting ready for bed because I'm an old man and go to bed early. And it's like 9:58. I'm like, time to go to bed. And then my buddies will be like, and I can't complain because I do the same thing to my West Coast friends when my store's closed. But they're like, can I come sell real quick? I'm like, really, dude? Like, okay, let's do this. And it's like, it wouldn't be that frustrating if it wasn't a 20-minute process to have literally anybody join my island. It's
we have a guy in the chat, and his name was Slimer Snarf. He's not in the chat right now, but he's in the community, and he lives in Hawaii. So like everybody, like the islands would all shut down, the stores would all shut down, and here comes everybody hitting like, "Hey Slimer, can we come over? Can we come over?" And, it was like, and he's like, because he's 6 hours behind us, and it's like, but you know, he was always good about it. Holly, what about you? Is there anything, or did I already hit you? I can't remember.
Yeah, you already hit me.
All right, never mind. Okay, forget it. Here's a question, because this is good. Infero's asking, like, and I'm kind of curious, like, do you guys wish that there was an auction house in this game, or like a built-in auction house, or what's your thoughts on that?
Ooh. I mean, do you know what? I never really, like, because in City Folk was when there was a auction house, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've like not played it in so long. I can't really remember using it that much, so I'm gonna call myself out on this. I don't really have an opinion.
I know Jeff and I used the auction house in City Folk, but like we could only do like 99,000 bells. Like that was the
Jeff
top.
doesn't seem to remember this story that you're telling here.
He
Bobby.
doesn't. He you want to unmute your mic, Jeff?
Oh.
You muted your mic.
Sorry.
Okay.
Like I was saying, Bobby's much older than me, so I don't really remember.
Wow!
Wow. Yeah, is that why you wanted me to unmute? You know.
you know what? Mute yourself again.
So, yeah,
Son of a.
I don't remember the auction house too well. I don't remember using it as often as you guys might have.
Remember that the next time somebody
I was
steals your
very
crown.
young.
Yeah,
I was like
yeah.
13,
Yeah, I'm the same. I just didn't really like.
You know what, Jeff? I'm really disappointed by that attack on me. I praise you at the start of the show. Tell everybody to get themselves a Jeff MaHomey, and you come off like that. Like that's.
I'm just happy. I'm happy there's finally somebody in one of these with me who can take you on, Bobby. There's teamwork going on.
Yeah, and someone's got to take him down a peg.
It's amazing. You two look alike.
Pitches.
You two look alike too. It's like a younger version of
We're both
Josh
incredibly
Thomas.
handsome. What do you want from us?
Oh Jesus! Wow, this is definitely. I do definitely got two Josh Thomases today. The ego.
The auction house in City Folk was this idea that I thought was really cool, but it was on the Wii, where Nintendo was just sort of starting to learn online, and so it wasn't really programmed that well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you would get your item back, or there would be like actual problems with it. In theory, I think an auction house is really cool because, you know, it'd be a neat little shop. And I think it would give Reese and Cyrus from New Leaf, it would give them something to run, which I think would be neat. Because they sort of had that in New Leaf, but it wasn't fully an auction house. So I'm down for the idea, and I can see it would have a lot of benefits. And I would hope that on the Switch, they'd be able to pull it off better than on the Wii. So I'm down for it. It didn't. There's a reason you guys don't remember it from City Folk. It's because it was very forgettable and didn't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It would be kind of cool. The other thing that would be kind of cool about it, too, is, like, if I put an item in there that I customized. Like, maybe I used a custom pattern, and I could sell it with the custom pattern. So that would entice people to, like, come and buy something. Where, like, if I painted it different colors, like, it might make it stand out as opposed to other people's. So that would be kind of cool. Alex, did you ever mess with the auction houses, or...?
No. What? City Folk came in, what, like 2008? Something like that? Those are the dark ages for me with the Wii. I was busy playing. I was off in Xbox Land playing Left 4 Dead and Call of Duty during those days. So I missed out on all that stuff. But I think I'm kind of like right now in New Horizons. I'm kind of like weaning off of it, and I have been. And something like an auction house would be some feature like that. I feel like that would kind of spark my interest again.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of things like Nookazon, but to me it always felt like. And no judgment to anybody who used it, but for me, I was like, it feels like a little like I'm cheating a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas like an auction house where it's built into the game client, I feel like I would feel better about using that sort of thing, and I think that would kind of spark interest again.
Yeah.
It almost allowed for safe trading too. Like it just gave that extra mechanic to do that too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because at the minute you just stop, and then just like you both just pick up at the same time and just hope that it's like the right thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think more trading things would be good. So I guess auction house would be good.
I want to do one more question, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. But Toast is saying, would you like more villager types or personalities in the game? Like, do you? And I think we can actually move this to anything in terms of the villagers. Like, what do you want most, or what would you like added to the villagers in Animal Crossing? Josh, I'm going to throw it to you first.
I'm really surprised there are not any. I'm not wrong on this, right? There's no new animal types, as in like species.
No.
Right. Yeah. There's no new, which was strange to me because Bobby, you're aware of this, but I made little shark villagers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and there should be like whales and stuff. And I know that it's like, oh, but how would they breathe on land? And it's like, but they're animals that can talk. We don't need to make that much sense of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really am kind of bummed out that there's no new species. And not only that, there's only like, what is it, like 7 new characters in total, and the animals are literally just swapping textures. So like you have the bear model, you can make them so easily. So it's very strange to me. So yeah, I really want to see that. It's sort of weird though, because like, how do you implement that into the game as an update? Because obviously, you know, like everybody probably has a full island at this point.
Yeah.
So like, would you push one out, or would you special? I don't know how they would do that. Does it just kind of organically go in, and then when somebody moves, you can get? I don't know, but I do want to see that very badly, actually.
That's the one. Yeah, we'll get into a little bit more of that in a second here. But like, yeah, why can't you? And the thing is like you hear that all the time. Like someone was like, "Oh, I would like the train station," right? And so it's like, "Well, how would you get a train station around?" Listen, you have talking animals. This is not a real game. Like we could do all kinds of stuff in this thing, but like, I agree. Like a shark or a whale, like we have an octopus that runs around, like that thing can't breathe out of water either. So, like,
we have frogs, and then we can also catch frogs. So, you know, the reality has kind of been thrown out from the GameCube days.
Yeah, exactly. Did
you guys see? Have you seen the little like meme image though, in regards to like the personalities of the villagers, where it's like on the GameCube they show one of the grumpy villagers and he's like really mean and talking nasty, and then they
like,
show
you're
like
so ugly,
and then they show the New Horizons grumpy one. He's like, I'm sad. So it's just like
I felt that one.
Yeah,
that's true.
The difference in personalities, they've kind of been gimped a little bit, and I think it's because I think they nerfed them because maybe there was like 2 people that complained about, I don't know, Mr. Resetti made my kid cry. I'd be like, good. I want to have kids, and I want Mr. Resetti to make them cry. Teach them lessons.
Be mean to me. So put me in my place. I need this. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing is the truth is like I had Rocco in my GameCube, and he used to be so nasty to me. Like just literally yell at me all the time.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And to be put in your place, Bobby, even then.
Exactly. And he doesn't do that in this one. This one, he's kind of like docile. It's like, come on,
he's
man.
like, do you want to share my lollipop, Bobby?
I don't. I want you to call me a stinker.
Yeah. Throw something at me. You're supposed to be grumpy, Octavian.
What about you, Alex? Anything you that stands out that you wish they would add, like to personalities or whatever?
You know, I think my biggest thing is like the collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
And I already mentioned that, but yeah, I'm with you. Like any sort of like new, and granted, I didn't play City Folk, and I didn't play, what was a really bad one that everyone didn't like?
Wild World.
Yeah, Wild World. Thank you. I didn't play either of those games, and so there are a lot of, there's a lot of villagers that like are new to me, even though for other people, you know, they're still novel to me, right? And so I don't really have that, but I do know that like the amount of villagers that I come across on islands are largely the same. I've just had horrible luck with finding the villagers that I want to find. And at this point, what I would really love is just like some expandable housing plots. Like I feel like I'm obviously maxed out at this point, but my island in certain parts still feels like pretty empty. And I'm like, man, why can't we just bump this up? You know, another 5 houses would be great.
Yeah.
Even if I had to buy like some sort of some system where I had to pay extra bells to like unlock it, but on top of the 10,000. But yeah, that's kind of what I'd like out of it.
Yeah. What about you, Holly? Anything?
So this one for me, I feel is kind of redundant because I really like the fact that NPCs are typically kind of standout animals. So it's like, you know, you've got a tanuki, you've got alpacas, I want to say, but I would kind of like to see more species that are also what the NPCs are.
Okay.
And I don't feel like that would take away from them but it would just be like, I don't know. I've been thinking about it for ages, but I think of like Flick, and I would love like chameleons. I would love more species, and I also want more octopi because 3 is not enough. I know there was a 4th called, I want to say Inkwell. I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And 3 of them. Like, why can't we have more? So I don't know. I wish they'd added in more new villagers. That would have been great. But yeah, there's a couple of.
Also, the rumor is that Tortimer is dead. So if he's dead, give us some turtle villagers.
Stop it, man. Don't do that, man. I don't like that. That gets me so mad.
Submarine theme would have been really, really cool with this game. Like you said, Josh, like sharks and whales and crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, crabs could work.
Crabs would
sure.
be
I mean,
awesome, man. Crabs would be awesome.
I would have really liked that. Really, really would have liked that.
I think crabs would be really, actually kind of funny if you had them in there with their personalities.
Are there?
Would they all be grumpy?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Seahorses? Are there? There aren't any seahorse villagers,
You
right?
can catch them, but
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah,
villager.
yeah.
It'd be kind
That'd
of
be
cool.
fun.
It'd be kind of cool.
It'd be ugly like the octopuses are.
Yeah.
The
That's
octopi.
true. That's true. What about you, Jeff? Anything?
I think I disagree with most of you. I think they got too many villagers.
Okay.
A lot of you I see a lot of hate on the octopus. First off, Octavian is superior, so I don't want to hear it.
He was
Second
the
off,
first villager I came across on the island excursion. He's like, "Can I come
all-time
visit
favorite.
you?" I was like, "I'm good."
So disrespectful. So I'm a little biased. I ranked all of them on a tier list. I ranked all the villagers. It was not fun. And I feel like there are too many. I feel like they should shovel out some of the more like either unpopular ones or like the purposely ugly ones, like Harry the Hippo. He's purposely ugly. I feel like they could shovel out some of those that are like more gimmick characters, and they could shovel in new faces. But I don't think they need more types of villagers. Like maybe if they shovel out enough, they could bring in a new species. But I think the NPC villagers weren't enough. I think like Flick is cool, but CJ is just a rehash of Chip. And they barely brought back the alpaca as it is, and I feel like they could have just introduced newer species as NPC, and that's what makes them unique, is that there's only like one of them. That's what makes Octavian unique, and then they introduced Marina and Zucker, and I just think the more unique a villager, the more interesting and more personality they have. Like, how many squirrels can we have? You know?
Oh my god, there's a lot. Trust me. The only thing that I would love for them to re-implement, because I loved this, was when you actually scanned in Zelda amiibos. You got like a Ganon, which was a pig in the game. You got Epona, a horse. Get out of here, Jeff, with that nonsense. And then you scanned in Wolf Link, and you got a wolf that was named Link. Like, those were pretty cool, and I would love to have them brought back into the game. That was the first thing I actually did, honestly. When Tom Nook was like, hey, use your amiibo to scan it, I literally grabbed Ganon and tried to scan him in, and it was like, nope, not available yet. And I was like, oh, it'd be
Imagine
so awesome.
Ganon in Animal Crossing.
He was in New Leaf.
He is. He's a pig.
Yeah, he's a
like
pig in New Leaf, and he looked like Ganon.
Yeah.
And it was
Really?
so awesome. Oh, it was
I
amazing.
meant like real Ganon.
Well, yeah, but like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, but it was so cool to have that in. So it would be amazing if they did that again.
Listen, we don't even have Mario hats in this game
I
anymore. And you
know.
want Ganon to be brought back in?
Come on, dude. You know he was awesome in that game.
Oh, he's awesome, but
Yeah.
like we don't. The basic Nintendo accessories are missing.
No, I know. I like to get them too, if I'm being honest. Guys, listen, thank you so much for coming on today. Again, I know it was really short notice. You guys are amazing for doing this. Real quickly, I want to go around the horn, let everybody kind of plug themselves, where they're available at, where people can find them. Holly, I'll throw it to you first. Where can people find your content?
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube, of course. It's just Holly Crossing. You can find me on Twitter, which is Holly Crossing with 2 I's, because someone stole Holly Crossing, but hopefully I'll get it back one day. And I am also on Facebook, but like I keep forgetting to like post on there. So you can follow me on Facebook if you want, but I probably won't, notice it. But yeah, that's it. That's it really for me.
Alex, what about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at It's Van Aken. I run a website and YouTube channel called OK Beast. We have a lot of gaming podcasts on there. I've actually got an Animal Crossing video dropping this Friday over on the YouTube channel. So if you're a fan of, we do a lot of video essays. We've kind of recently been doing some mini documentaries on kind of how games impact and change us. And yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, go check it out. Okay, Beast.
Can't wait to see the Animal Crossing stuff. Jeff, what about you?
You can find me at Jeff MaHomey on pretty much everything. Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube that I'm working on. I have new stuff coming out all the time. You can mainly find me on Twitch almost every day. And if you care enough, I have a Discord. Discord.gg/BAWKVQ.
Jesus.
Rolls off the tongue.
Just rolls right off the tongue, man. It's amazing.
Okay.
Josh, how about you, man?
You can find me on Holly's Discord. By the way, the chat is really upset you didn't mention your Discord. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there.
Guys, we love you
Like
all.
the Discord, Holly. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. Bobby, where am I?
You're
I'm the Bitblock
yeah,
on
the
YouTube.
Bitblock.
There you go. And
Yeah.
on Instagram, I'm JoshyPants86, I think.
yes, and he does do Twitter. We keep him off Twitter, which is good.
Bobby keeps me away from Twitter. Bobby keeps me away from all sorts of things.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I do want to say this, and here's the truth. I want to run through the horn real quick. Holly was gone from my life for a few years, basically because we didn't make content together anymore, and she is fantastic. And stop talking. I let you plug, but stop talking. And she is a fantastic woman, and I am so blessed to work with her on a weekly basis. She does fantastic content. Please check out all her stuff. Alex, man, seriously, great documentary guy, does amazing video work. Seriously, when he went to OK Beast, I actually became a fan of OK Beast, and I feel like what he brought to the table was fantastic and amazing, and you would be remiss if you did not take a minute to just go check out his work. He does awesome stuff. Again, his documentary series literally makes me cry every single time I watch it.
Thanks, man.
Jeff, fantastic content creator as well. One of the funniest streams I go into. I love to raid him because he just makes me laugh when I go over there and watch him play weird things, but as well when he does Animal Crossing stuff, and he's just so chill and so laid back, and it's like it gets to tap into youth, and I get to check out the youth and what they're doing and stuff when I watch Jeff, so it's amazing. Josh,
Thank you, man.
seriously, one of the most creative people I have ever seen on YouTube. Like, his make-believe series was unbelievable and unparalleled when it comes to Animal Crossing. If you want to see ideas that Nintendo actually implemented into New Horizons years before there was even a New Horizons talked about, go check out Make Believe. It is fantastic. The stuff that Josh does is untouched and unparalleled. And the thing that you will find from Josh is it is not the same old stuff that you will get across YouTube. It is always creative and different. And I am honored to call Josh a friend. He is always giving of his time. Anytime I ask him to do stuff, he jumps right in, doesn't say no, and I thank you for that. And that's it. So thank you guys all for coming on. I love each and every one of you. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye.
Bye.